Hello everybody and welcome to Tutorial Tuesday. Today we are going to make a Christmas countdown calendar. My daughter has been driving me insane about when Christmas is, and because she's 5, she understands the concept of time, but she doesn't understand the concept of time. And this is really awesome for younger kids, 5 and below, even some older kids. I'm pretty sure my 7-year-old is gonna like it too. But basically it's just going to be a calendar with how many days are left until Christmas. We're going to make a little pom-pom string indicator so it goes in the pockets of each day. And I know I should have done this well before yesterday, but I had a lot of things going on, and I've been really sick, but I really want to get this calendar out because I think it's really cute. My mom had one for me and my sister, so I think this is really cute to do. It's a cheap, inexpensive way. Of course, I'm always about saving money, so this is a great way to do this project and not spend a lot of money on the ones that they sell in the stores. So, what are you going to need today? You are going to need, what I have here is a huge felt square, and mine is red. This is firm. It's actually firm. I don't know if you can tell how firm it is, but it's actually firm. And I'm going to use regular felt sheets, the cloth ones, and I'm going to make 2 by 2 squares for the dates. I have, I think this is like maybe a 1-inch dowel, and this is going to be what's going to hang our calendar. And I have these 2 little ball ends that I got these in a pack actually from the Walmart. Got it from Walmart. And I got this wooden dowel from Walmart also. It came in a pack. Yarn or embroidery thread. I thought I had embroidery thread, but I didn't, so I found yarn. You're going to need pom-pom balls, or if you have those little bells, that would be a great thing to use as well. Also, you're going to need a thick sewing needle, or if you're using the embroidery thread, just get a needle that's going to that you can use for your embroidery thread, and it will still go through the felt. And hot glue. So let's get started. What I'm going to do now is cut my 2 by 2 squares. I'm still going to start with yesterday's date and today, just so my daughter knows that, hey, December 1st is when December 1st starts. So I just don't want to leave any dates out in December. So I'm going to make 25 days because that's what you need to know for the Christmas countdown. Oh, one more thing I forgot. Stickers. I love stickers more than you. Okay, seriously though, but stickers. I bought Christmas stickers. I got these for $1 at Meijer, and they're cute little Christmas stickers that you could put all around your felt board. So, like I said, let's get started cutting 2 by 2 squares, or you can make yours larger if you want. For me, I think I only need 2 by 2 squares. So, I'm going to do that, and then I'll show you how to put the dates on the squares. What I want to show you is an easier way to cut this so you're not cutting square by square by square. I just took my felt here, folded it in half, and I'm actually going to fold it again. And I'm going to cut all of this at the same time. So I'm using one for now, and see how many I can cut out of this one, and then I'll go and use another one if I have to. So now that I have this folded, what I'm going to do is measure. Like I said, I want a 2 by 2 square. So I'm going to take this here. I'm going to measure down 2. Just get myself a line there. And then 2. And give myself a line there. And then I'll do this again. And what I'm going to do is simply cut where I've made my markings. And this is perfect because it ends right there on the 2. So that is awesome. So now what you're going to do is just cut where you made your markings. And of course I'm using kitty scissors because I left my other scissors downstairs. But it looks like I'm gonna have 4 pieces from folding it. So that's great. I probably won't need to use but 1 sheet of this to get my 25 squares. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you can make it as perfect as you want. I think I'm pretty sure your kids aren't going to be looking at every single detail of it. So this is 4 pieces. So that's just an easier way to cut your pieces out without having to cut 25 single pieces. So I'm going to finish mine up and you go ahead and do yours, and then we'll get started with putting the numbers on the squares. So out of that 1 sheet, I was actually able to get 24 of these. I did have to use the top part of the other sheet. So what I did was I simply cut all the way across. That way, when I use this sheet for something else, it's evenly cut across, which is what I always do. And if you watch my Sew Saturday videos, you know I try to do the same thing with my fabric. So what we want to do in order to get our numbers on is I'm going to make little markings so I know where to start my number, or you can trace the whole number out. It's up to you, but because I'm stitching the numbers on, I may not be able to do the number in 1 single stitch in order for it to look right. So I'm going to mark little dots, and I'm going to start off with number 1. And the great thing about working with felt is you can use either side of it. So if you have, whoopsies, if you have too many markings with your pencil or your marker, whatever you're using to measure, great thing about pencil is it erases. But you can turn it over and use the other side. So what I'm gonna do is make a little marking here to start my number 1. I'm just gonna kind of do a little line like that and then make a main dot right there. And I hope you can see this. I know it's pretty dark in my room right now, but like I said, I've been sick, so it's a little bit more comfortable for me to be in my room right now. And I have a big reveal coming up on my family channel this month. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. Actually, that's just way too much for the one. Right there, looks a little bit better. So now what we're gonna do is put our thread through so that we have an actual number. So I just want to show you here what I have with the needle. I pulled it through and I'm gonna leave this hanging loose. And now what I'm gonna do is take our needle and let's get started pulling it through where we made our little marking for our number 1. And you can make your number 1 however you want. This needle is pretty thick and so is the thread, the yarn. So you just want to pull it through, and I'm going to take it through this side. And you can always adjust if you need to. So far we have the start of our number 1. I'm going to go down. So what I'm going to do is come in right underneath that, pull it through, and this is why I wanted to use my embroidery thread, which I thought I had but I didn't, because this is really thick, so you got to work just a little bit harder to get the yarn through. And at this point, yeah, we're just gonna come down again, kind of tug it through, but not too hard because you don't want to rip the felt. So this is what it's looking like so far, and like I say, you could pull it a little bit tighter if you need to. And to make the line across, you would just start from either in the left side or the right side. I'm going to start with the right side. And pretty much that's how we're going to do all of our numbers. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and trace the number on all of my pieces of felt from 2 to 25, and then I'll go ahead and do another number with you just to show you again how to go ahead and put the yarn or the thread through so you can have your numbers on here, and then we'll start putting it all together. So let's just finish up with the number 1, and there you have it. There's our number 1, and I can pull this tighter, adjust it as I need it. And if you want to put a little bit of glue on the back just to make sure your numbers are secure, I would say go ahead and do that. If not, you could just snip off the yarn and just leave it how it is. Okay, so we're going to do number 2. I have all of my numbers done, my stack of numbers here, and I'm just going to set these aside. So I showed you how to do the number 1, and I have traced, if you can kind of see, I have pencil traced the 2. So what I did with the back of the 1, when I cut it off, I put a little hot glue there so that the yarn doesn't come loose. So again, this is what our number 1 looks like. So now I'm going to go ahead with this piece of string and start our number 2. So I'm going to just go through like I did with the number 1, and I have my little dots where I want to start, and I'm just going to take this around just like before. And kind of go through, just because I want this to be a little curved. I'm going to try to do this just a little bit differently so it doesn't look so straight. I kind of want to give that curved look as much as I can. And I can always play around with this and adjust it and just pull it up a little bit and put a little bit of glue so it sticks up and it's a little bit more round than straight. And sometimes it can get just a little bit difficult trying to pull that through, but that's okay. And like I said, leaving that hanging like that without putting a knot there allows you to be a little bit more flexible with the thread, and you can put it where you want to put it. So it's a really fun project. It's really cute. Kids will love it. Hopefully I'll be done before they get out of school. Autumn actually has to go to the doctor today. She came home with a really bad earache yesterday. Poor little thing. Okay, so we're almost there. And all I need to do now is put the line across, and then we have our 2. So I'm just going to go in a little bit here. And you don't always have to come out. If you find that it's easier for you to stay in with your needle and just do it that way, then you could do it that way. This is just the way I'm doing it. This is what's more comfortable for me. You can find and do what's more comfortable for you. So I'm going to do the same thing when I cut it off. And I actually don't need to adjust it that much. So I'm just going to pull a little bit tighter just for myself. And so there we have it. There's our number 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just cut that. And I'm going to have to restring my yarn here. I'm going to cut this a little bit. Not much though. I'm going to leave that just like that. I'm going to look at the front and make sure it is exactly where I want it, because once you get the hot glue on there, you won't be able to adjust that much. So I'm just putting the hot glue here to stabilize it, so when I attach everything, the yarn will not come loose. And you can use a different kind of glue. You can knot yours off on the end if you choose. Just do what's more comfortable for you. So I'm going to go ahead and set this one aside, and then I'll start on my number 3, and so on and so on. So once I get done with all the numbers, we'll start to place the numbers on our felt board. I am down to the last number, and I know it's a little dark in here, but I want to show you what I'm doing. had a lot of stuff going on today, so unfortunately I didn't get to finish this earlier when I wanted to. This is what I've done with the ones that are curved and the ones that have a more circular shape than the other ones. I start off stitching, but when I get around to the curve, I do the glue. Just so I can get it in a more circular shape. And then once I'm done, I go ahead and stitch back through. And I just straighten it out as I go. I'm just going to cut the excess off, put that in my trash bag, put a little bit of hot glue in the back here, and fold that down. So there's our 25. So now we have our numbers, and I did get started with the numbers. And I just glue those down across, and I'm not doing the dates, I'm just doing the countdown. So what I did was I put hot glue around the sides. I left a little opening so that we can put the pom-pom balls in each number. So I'm going to show you how to place your numbers on the felt board. So what we're going to do for our number here is we're going to take the hot glue, we're just going to set it around the edges. And of course, like I said, do not put it on the very top, because that we need to have it look like a pocket so that we can put our pom-pom ball inside. And just set this down. Be careful because the glue is hot. We're just going to continue on all the way down to 25 until we get this thing filled up. Then I'll show you how to go ahead and put the wooden dowel on with the wooden balls, wherever they are, the wooden ball ends. Okay, but basically what you're going to do is put hot glue inside here, whatever kind of glue you want, probably wood glue would work as well, and then you're going to stick your wooden dowel inside. And you're going to do the same thing with the other side. And this is the start of finishing that off. So we can set this aside where we're putting the numbers down. That way this can dry completely while we finish this up. Oh, God. So now that we have all the numbers on our board, we are going to attach the board to our wooden dowel. And I tie a string, and we're going to hot glue this down to the wooden dowel. And you can do it however is easiest for you. Kind of roll it over a little bit and just hold it down, just because it's a little bit thicker than our felt sheets. And this way we can hang it up on the wall for the kiddos. So I'm just going to hot glue mine all the way across, and then hot glue this edge here down. I'm going to have to cut it a little bit just to get it to go around the circle part of the dowel here, and once we're done, it'll hang up. Now that we have our wooden dowel attached, we're going to attach a string or the little pom-pom ball that's going to go inside each pocket for each day. You're just going to take this, put a little bit of hot glue on it, and then attach the string. Once you have that attached, you're going to attach the string to the wooden dowel, kind of hot glue it to the back of the other yarn that you already have on there. Okay, so now this is what it should look like. And you have your little string here so you can put in each day. And today is the 2nd. So we're going to put that right in there. And that just gives the kids something to do to count down until Christmas. Now I'm going to take those stickers that I showed you earlier and I'm going to decorate this. And once I've done that, I'm going to hang it up and show you what it looks like when it's all finished. So here's our calendar. And Autumn helped put a little bit of the decorations on. But as you can see, I have it up there on a small nail that was already in my wall. And we have our countdown. Today is December 2nd. So with each day, we will keep putting the little pom-pom ball in each square until we get to Christmas. And that is it for this Tutorial Tuesday.